Morning everybody, this is David with davidspassage.com, and today we're going to make a spoon. You know, one of the things, if you go backpacking, hiking, or whatever, that's just a really good skill to have is just learning how to make a spoon out of a stick. See, there are times when, you know, I leave the spoon at home because it's added weight. You know, it's one more thing to remember to have to put back in your pack, one more thing to keep track of not losing. And so, you know, where I go hiking, sticks are everywhere, and I can just grab one and make a spoon real quick. And so I thought I'd do that with you. All you need for this project really is, you know, a saw. I'm just using a Baco lap grinder and a knife. You can use a spoon knife. I have a spoon knife. I make all my fancy spoons with a spoon knife, but there's no real rocket science to this, but you want to get an idea of how big you want your spoon to be. And what I do is just grip the stick you got, and I just leave a little extra space. Now, if you're going to use a stick like this, you know, I want the pith of the wood, or the center of the wood, to be the top part of the spoon. You know, you can kind of see there's natural curvature of the wood right here already. So I'm going to utilize that. But what I want to do is I'm going to split the wood just so that this pithy part is above. To get it there, I'm just going to put my knife, you know, on the center part and just sort of baton this down. If you don't have a pencil or something, you can just sort of score the wood just to mark where your spoon's going to stop. And this is going to be a pretty crude spoon. And I'm just going to remove a little bit of the material here just to get started. Kind of taper this a bit. Okay. I'm going to sort of chamfer these corners a little bit. And another way you can do is take your thumb, if you put it up against the spine of your knife, and just kind of work it like this. What you're doing is you're moving the wood into the knife just to kind of chamfer those corners. Now I kind of want to use my knife and just kind of score, just get an idea of where I want my spoon circle part to be. I'm just doing this kind of lightly until I kind of get a rough idea. You can use a piece of charcoal from your fire to do this. All right, now I'm going to take my knife, put it in here like this, in the middle. Start with the middle, come down, and then swoop it around a little bit into quarters. So I'll take it like this, come down a little bit, and swoop it around. Take the knife, go up like this, and kind of swoop it around. And that's going to kind of get me started on a little dimple that I can begin to work out. Just using the tip of my knife to whittle this away. Now I'm using a Mora Bushcraft Black. It's just one of my favorite knives. I've got here's another knife I could be doing this with. This is a Jeff White bush knife, and you know, do the same thing with it. Just take the tip and kind of begin working some of that material out. And you see why I didn't remove all the material in the beginning from the spoon part, from the handle at least, because I wanted something good to grip onto, and then, you know, have leverage enough. So I'm not going to break the handle off. I can carve this part out, because this is the most tedious part, just kind of hollowing out that spoon part. Now I could go ahead and finish this off, but what I want to do is I want to finish the rest of the spoon first, and then I'll show you how I'm going to completely finish it here. All right, so that's pretty rough. As you can see, it's still got a lot of, you know, rough edges to it. And what I'm going to do is just sort of take the knife very gently, just kind of make some small, I guess, whittle some small cuts that are just going to sort of take down some of those tips. I'm not putting any pressure on the knife. You know, I'm just letting the blade do its thing, and just to smooth as much of that out as possible if I want to make this pretty looking. You can also take the spine of your knife, if you know you've got a 90-degree spine, and begin to just sort of work at smoothing out some of those peaks. Because the last step in this process, you know, if you're doing this on the trail, you're just going to find a clean rock and use that like you would sandpaper. Just begin to work it. You can really sand this down nice. Well, there you go. Just kind of a quick, crude spoon. One less piece of equipment you have to pack, and these are quite effective. It doesn't take too long to crank one of these out. And again, I just used my Mora Bushcraft Black knife and a rock to do this with. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, but I got a question for you. You know, in this video I used a Mora Bushcraft Black, but you know, if you've used another knife to do this with, I'd love to hear what kind of knife that you used. You know, I have a spoon knife, but I don't pack this with me when I go in the woods on backpacking trips or anything like that, but I do always pack, you know, either my Mora or my Jeff White. So if you've done this with another type of knife, I'd like to know how it turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, just appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, subscribe and connect with me on Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest or any of those other platforms. I use pretty much all of them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.